roses in the sun. I was supposed to get it right and done.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Keir Smith here, back with another video, and for today's video I'm going to be talking you through some of my favourite lyrics from a dozen great Bob Dylan songs. If you're watching this and you're a big Dylan fan, then you won't need me to tell you that he is one of the greatest writers in rock and roll. He's unconventional, he's certainly poetic, and he uses these clever metaphors and rhymes the words so well to tell these often dramatic and funny tales. And of course, at other times, depending on the topic of the song, he could be very serious, cold, cynical, cutthroat even. The truth is, I don't think any of us are entirely sure what we're going to get from a Bob Dylan song. And that's one of the things that makes him so fascinating. I'm always interested in reading and hearing what an artist has to say with his lyrics. And in the case of Bob Dylan, well, to put it quite simply, I'll say that it's been great fun reading, hearing and trying to digest what he has to say, because half the time I haven't got a clue what he's going on about. But that's all right, because they all sound so good. And so if any of these lyrics that I've chosen leave you wondering and scratching your head and thinking, now why on earth has he chosen that one? Well, the truth could well be, I'm not entirely sure either, but I'll try and explain myself as I go along. So with that said, here are a dozen great Bob Dylan songs with what I think are some fantastic lyrics. I thought I'd start with a particularly strong one, so I chose It's Alright Ma, I'm Only Bleeding from the excellent Bringing It All Back Home album. Temptation's page flies out the door, you follow, find yourself at war, watch waterfalls of pity roar. You feel to moan, but unlike before, you discover that you'd just be one more person crying. I mentioned Dylan being cutthroat, and those lyrics show that side of his writing for me. Yeah, give in to temptation, by all means, but it could lead you down a dark path, and there's no point in turning around and crying after the event. You went after it, deal with it. So this next lyric is from Lily Rosemary and the Jack of Hearts, a great song, my favourite song from Blood on the Tracks. And I don't know why I like this lyric. Honestly, I don't know why. It's just that every time I hear it, my ears prick up and it resonates with me in a rather odd way, and I don't know why, but the lyric is, be careful not to touch the wall, there's a brand new coat of paint. I'm glad to see you're still alive, you're looking like a saint. It baffles me. Every time I hear that lyric, I sit and grin to myself and think, yeah, that's really good, that. I really like that. Visions of Johanna from the brilliant Blonde on Blonde album, and the lyric that I was drawn to from this song is, little boy lost, he takes himself so seriously, he brags of his misery, he likes to live dangerously. Blonde on Blonde was my second Bob Dylan album, the first one being the Freewheeling Bob Dylan, so I was 17 years old when I first heard this song, I think, and I'm not so sure about the living dangerously part. I was still living at home with my mum, my stepdad and my family at that point, so I'm not so sure about the living dangerously part, but the little boy lost and taking himself so seriously thing, I thought, yeah, he's singing about me. I wasn't lost. I didn't take myself that seriously either. In fact, I was a bit of a joker. Joker man. That's about me. So we'll go with Joker Man next, and if you put a gun to my head and said, you must tell me your favourite Bob Dylan song, I would probably say this. I would say this. And I wish I could give you the most profound lyric from this wonderful set of lyrics, but the one that I'm going to choose, again, it's a bit like the Lily Rosemary and the Jack of Hearts thing. I don't know why my ears prick up when I hear this and why it touches my heart the way it does. I've no idea, but the lyric is, so swiftly the sun sets in the sky, you rise up and say goodbye to no one. I don't know. That's the lyric I pick out of this song. But please indulge me, because as underwhelming as my particular choice was, there are so many great lyrics from this song that I'd like to share with you. Freedom, just around the corner for you. But with truth so far off, what good will it do? Oh, and how good is this for a lyric? Shredding off one more layer of skin, keeping one step ahead of the persecutor within. False-hearted judges dying in the webs that they spin. I absolutely adore Joker, man. Enough said.
What's a sweetheart like you do?
Sticking with the excellent Infidels album, I wanted to choose the second song on the album, the song that follows Joker Man, Sweetheart Like You. And the lyric that I chose from this song is, they say that patriotism is the last refuge to which a scoundrel clings. Steal a little and they throw you in jail. Steal a lot and they make you king. And this is actually a play on words from a famous poet, satirist, critic called Samuel Johnson from the 1700s. He said, patriotism is the last refuge of the scoundrel. And I simply really like those words and the way that Bob takes that quote and puts a bitter and cynical but honest twist on it.
Come, you masters of war.
Masters of War. Where do I start? I mean, you could take your pick out of any of this. I might be going a little bit tame here, but in particular, I really like, let me ask you one question. Is your money that good? Can it buy you forgiveness? Do you think that it could? You that build all the big guns. You that build all the death planes. You that build all the bombs. And I hope that you die. And your death will come soon. It's so fierce, it's nasty, and be sure he means it. And Bob was really young when he wrote that, but he has somehow perfectly captured the anger and the resentment that most of us feel when talking about war. Every Grain of Sand, this beautiful, reflective ballad from the Shot of Love album. And the lyrics that I chose from this song are, oh, the flowers of indulgence and the weeds of yesteryear, like criminals, they have choked the breath of conscience and good cheer. They are profound lyrics, and I am regrettably someone who has certainly overindulged over the years, and it choked me, no doubt about it. This is a really good one from the album Street Legal, and the song is No Time to Think. Memory, ecstasy, tyranny, hypocrisy, betrayed by a kiss on a cool night of bliss in the valley of the missing link, and you have no time to think. That's simply my favourite verse out of many great verses that run throughout that song. They're so well put together, so well rhymed, and great wordplay.
Crimson flames tied through my ears.
My Back Pages from the excellent Another Side of Bob Dylan album. My guard stood hard when abstract threats, too noble to neglect, deceived me into thinking I had something to protect. Good and bad, I define these terms, quite clear, no doubt, somehow. Oh, but I was so much older then. I'm younger than that now. So good. And again, I got Another Side of Bob Dylan quite early on when buying up Bob Dylan's albums, and this was always the standout track for me. I love that. I was so much older then, I'm younger than that now. It blew my mind as a 17 or 18-year-old kid. I remember thinking, he must have changed his mind, or what he thought he knew then, he didn't know and now he does. And I always really like the way that the use of the word somehow detaches itself from the otherwise convincing, quite clear, no doubt bit. I really like the Slow Train Coming album, and in particular this song, When You're Gonna Wake Up. Adulterers in churches and pornography in the schools. You got gangsters in power and lawbreakers making rules. When you're gonna wake up? Bob's putting the world to rights in When You're Gonna Wake Up, and he does it rather well.
Man thinks, 'cause he rules in us, he can do with it as he please.
A third and final choice from the Infidels album with License to Kill. These lyrics are fantastic. Now he's hell-bent for destruction, he's afraid and confused, and his brain has been mismanaged with great skill. All he believes are his eyes, and his eyes, they just tell him lies. Dylan doesn't offer a great deal of sympathy with his lyrics, and I really respect that type of honesty. His brain has been mismanaged with great skill. I think Dylan's basically saying that this guy's done it to himself. This is all his own making. And finally, and another one from the Blonde on Blonde album, I could have chosen so many different lyrics from a number of songs across this album, but I chose this one. It's Stuck Inside a Mobile with the Memphis Blues Again. And it comes from the final verse where Bob sings, "And here I sit so patiently, waiting to find out what price you have to pay to get out of going through all these things twice." And again, I remember hearing that when I was very young and thinking, is he sat patiently in court? Is he waiting to find out what he's done wrong? And then as I listened to the song through the years, I thought, no, it's nothing to do with that at all. And well, what does it mean then? And tried to figure it out and couldn't come up with anything. But I've always really liked the lyric and the way he puts the words together again. And I don't know what it means, but it doesn't matter. It sounds great. It's Alright Ma, I'm Only Bleeding, Lily Rosemary and the Jack of Hearts, Visions of Johanna, Joker Man, Sweetheart Like You, Masters of War, Every Grain of Sand, No Time to Think, My Back Pages, When You're Gonna Wake Up, License to Kill, and Stuck Inside a Mobile with the Memphis Blues Again. And immediately I'm already thinking, just think of all the great songs that I've left off. There should probably be a volume 2 of this. But please let me know down in the comments section below some of your favourite lyrics from the great Bob Dylan. I'd be interested to read them. And as always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you for my next video sometime soon. Until then, bye for now.